It is NFL wildcard weekend, and I'm here with industry insider Ben Fawkes to talk about where the betting action is on these very intriguing matchups. So let's rip through these chronologically here, Ben. Cleveland at Houston, unreal season from D'Amico Ryan, CJ Stroud, and the Texans. Glaring home road splits for that Cleveland Browns team. What do bettors think about this one?
Yeah, and a glaring age difference in starting quarterbacks as well, with Joe Flacco for the Browns and rookie CJ Stroud. Bettors have been backing the Browns here. This opened at Browns minus 2.5 in Houston. It's been minus 2.5 for most of the week, has come down now to -2. I think part of that being Browns cornerback Denzel Ward injuring himself in practice. He's now questionable, but the public right now betting the Browns. And that game the over has ticked up slightly a bit to 44.5. But really, the message is public backing the Browns right now and backing that experience and a great defense as well.
Dolphins at Arrowhead to face the Chiefs, and weather is looking likely to play a real impact on Saturday night. What are bettors looking at here?
So there's another one. I think bettors are going to back the Chiefs on the money line. It's been a little more split on the spread. This open Chiefs minus 3.5 in Kansas City. We're now up to Chiefs minus 4.5 pretty much across the board. Bettors, I think, are going to back Kansas City to win. The money is on the Chiefs to cover. Tickets are a little closer to 50-50, a couple more on the Chiefs. Again, it's been an interesting season for Kansas City. They haven't really looked like the same team that won the Super Bowl last year. And for the Dolphins, the injuries are piling up on both sides of the ball, especially not winning that game last weekend against the Bills, meaning that they now have to go on the road rather than playing at home. This is, like you said, going to be a very cold environment. And the total hasn't moved as much as we'd think, though. It has ticked down, but really it seems like it's just going to be very cold, not necessarily wind or snow or anything along with that.
On to Sunday now, and we open with Steelers at the Bills. Most lopsided number on the board, lowest total on the board, another potential weather spot here. But what are bettors feeling?
So this is another one where the total is really more, I guess, a talking point than necessarily the spread. The Bills are going to be certainly on a money line parlay with just about everyone's going to have them in there with one or two other teams. The public is expecting the Bills to certainly win this game after how they played on Sunday and winning 5 straight games as well to make the postseason and win the AFC East. The total, though, has dipped down. This opened 40.5, 41 some places. We're down to 35.5, 36. And this is mostly, like you said, because of the weather. Temperatures expect to be in the 20s, but really what's important, you want to focus on the wind. And there could be 15-mile-an-hour winds with gusts up to 30, potential snow, very difficult potentially to throw the ball, even with Josh Allen's terrific arm. So we've seen the majority of the money come in on the under, even though tickets are about 50-50. And again, the spread is more close to 50-50, but the public overwhelmingly on the Bills money line, putting that in parlays and probably teasing that as well.
Second game pits the Packers at Jerry World to face Dallas. Traditionally, two very public teams at the betting window. Packers incredibly young. Dallas incredibly proficient at home. What's the action like here?
Yeah, again, in an indoor game, we have 3 indoor games and 3 outdoor games this week. In the indoor games, not surprisingly, the public is backing the over in the total, and it's no surprise here. Cowboys 6-2 against the number at home this year, 8-0 straight up. They're the only undefeated team at home. We're seeing more tickets on the Cowboys, but the spread money is about 50-50. And again, this is going to be one for the Cowboys. People are tossing on the money line, likely tying to the Bills, potentially the Chiefs, or other teams in their money line parlays. That's kind of what we've seen so far.
Sunday wraps up with the Detroit Lions at home to the Rams, and this one was sort of earmarked as the potential upset of the weekend with the Rams tabbed as 3-point road dogs. Is that what you're seeing, public backing the Rams?
Yeah, so the Rams are the one public underdog, I would say. This open Lions -3. We have seen some -3.5s. Respected money has picked Rams plus 3.5 when it's gotten to 3.5, that number. So we're really at Lions -3. And this is the game where the majority of the money line bets, money line handle is actually on the Rams. So of all the 6 underdogs, the Rams the only one where the majority of money at several sportsbook is on them to win. And the same thing to cover as well. So if people think they're going to win the game, then they obviously like them getting 3 points as well. Really interesting game with them going back to Detroit where Matthew Stafford was, and the Rams being seen as that dangerous team. The Lions haven't looked as good the last couple of weeks. And again, Detroit just has been such a tumultuous franchise, shall we say, for such a long time. 1-11 in the playoffs since 1974 straight up. It's a different team this year, but I think the public sees some of that and that history as well. And the Rams with McVay and Stafford have had a history of success so far in the short term.
I remember the one win very, very well. Now, Monday night sees the Eagles at Tampa Bay. Bucs, 3-point home underdogs here. Philly with some injury concerns, but Darius Slay looks good to go. Eagles have lost 3 of 4 without him. Where are we on this one?
So this, as you would kind of expect, is still a lot of people backing the Eagles. We've seen this line come up a bit. Now the Eagles -2.5 has hit -3 in some spots, even though the game is in Tampa Bay. Again, I think just seen as two different teams, the public is still going to have faith in the Eagles, even though they've looked really terrible the last several weeks, and obviously against the Giants last weekend. This is also a game we've seen a lot of money come in on the under. This under 44 at a lot of books. Again, an outdoor game, potentially could be some weather, we're not exactly sure. That's something you'll want to be checking closer to Monday when you have game time. But the public's still going to be backing the Eagles here, especially under a field goal against the Buccaneers.
There you have it. Follow Ben on X at BFawkes22. Thanks a lot, Ben. Have a good weekend.
You too.